Hello, everyone. It's an amazing day today because we have an AMA. So, thank you all for coming to our third AMA of this year. Spring is in the air and Hedera DeFi is really coming in hot. So, I just checked 5 minutes ago, and SushiSwap is currently in the top 20 indexes on DeFi Llama. And also, we have surpassed 750 million in total traded volume, inching us closer to that 1 billion milestone mark. So today I am joined with ABFT as a co-host.
Amazing day. It's an AMA. Thanks, Pineapple. Greetings, Saucelings. Welcome aboard our spacecraft for another galactic AMA session. Things are heating up. As we've all seen, recently launching into orbit is Bitcoin's latest all-time high price. We're about to beam down our latest insights and unearthly secrets. So buckle up your asteroid belts and let's get this show going. What you got for us tonight, Pineapple?
Thanks, ABFTFDW. So to start us off, if possible, can the team clear the air on refusing or delaying an interview with Max Walker Williams? I think this would be greatly appreciated for us to move forward.
Hey everyone, yeah, thanks for joining us for this AMA. We do appreciate taking some time to fill everyone in on developments and take your questions. So, to preface, we do want to spend the majority of our time together today answering some more substantial questions, but we do understand there has been some confusion around the interview with Max, so we'll just take a minute there to get it out of the way. So, as context, we have done several on camera interviews with Brandon the H Bar Bull, as well as conducted monthly or bi weekly AMAs to be as transparent as possible. Now, Max asked us to participate in his Mega HTS video, I think is what he was calling it. And we just didn't feel like it was the right time to participate, so we respectfully declined. In our response, we mentioned that we would be more than happy to circle back to do an exclusive interview following the release of some more features, such as auto pools, which is currently in testnet beta, so that we'll have more to talk about. And following that message, Max didn't reply, just had the response that he did on social media. So just 2 points I want to communicate. One, we follow our own development cycle and marketing schedule. We can't say yes to every interview request, nor would it be a good idea to do so. And we do tend to schedule on-camera interviews either leading up to a major feature release, such as SaucerSwap version 2, or following a major feature release. Now, the second point I want to communicate is that we are always open to feedback. And if the community ever feels we are not being transparent, we will address it. We try our very best to be open and communicative through various channels. For example, we offer support through Discord and email. We conduct regular AMAs to take questions from the community. We have done multiple on-camera interviews. We also publish development updates to Twitter and Telegram regularly. In addition to all of this, we have a public roadmap, extensive documentation, and not to mention, our contracts are open source and audited. So transparency and communication are hallmarks of our brand. We take it very seriously. We plan to do more on-camera interviews moving forward. There's no stop to them. We've done them in the past, and we will continue to do them, as well as keep to a schedule of our regular AMAs. And as always, be generally available on Discord or email for support. By the way, we may do an exclusive interview with Brandon the H Bar Bull following the release of auto pools. That would be later this month. So if you're looking for an on-camera interview, we may do one with Brandon the H Bar Bull. So now I would like to put this matter behind us. We have more important things to discuss, and we do wish Max all the best with his channel.
Hey, thank you, Peter. And Brandon the H Bar Bull has done fabulous things for the community. I shared his videos so much when I first found out about H Bar. Dude's a real boss. All right, moving on. First question. So, what stage has the SaucerSwap team reached in the process of getting listed on centralized exchanges, and when is it expected to be completed? How hard is the team working on getting listed on tier 1 exchanges? The H Bar community would love to help. And this is also by the Great One. We are past February. What is taking so long for listing?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I know it's a hot topic. We actually received many more questions about centralized exchange listings than the ones that we're just reading for this AMA. I think there was about 10 of them. So we will give you some color and updates regarding the centralized exchange listings right now. First of all, there has been no shift in priority regarding the listings. They are still actively being worked on. We have made progress with the tier 1 centralized exchanges mentioned in the last AMA. Now, there are two in particular that are firmly tier 1s that are our top priority. As context from the last AMA, they have told us that they love SaucerSwap, they love the project, the active community, the on-chain metrics, seeing our rank on DeFi Llama, surpassing QuickSwap, getting up there with Camelot and Trader Joe. Basically, all the project criteria is met. There are a couple of challenges that we are working through. The main challenge is that the Hedera token service is not integrated on many exchanges, period. So we are doing the hard work of pushing to get the Hedera token service integrated on these top exchanges. Now, the great thing about this is that it will pave the way for other HTS tokens to seamlessly list on those exchanges. The downside is it takes a little bit longer, but to the point that HTS needs to be integrated, we have been working with our partners, including the HBAR Foundation and several prominent market makers, to integrate the Hedera token service into these exchanges, namely these tier 1 exchanges. So we are just as hopeful as we were last AMA about these listings. They unfortunately do not operate on our schedule. And all we can do is be persistent and work with them as efficiently as possible. That's exactly what we're doing. Second point we want to make regarding the centralized exchanges is that we have broadened our strategy a bit to additionally consider listing on other exchanges that might not necessarily be tier 1, but will support an overall approach that includes both top and other reputable non-tier 1 exchanges. So let me be clear, this does not mark a shift from listing on tier 1 exchanges that is still the top priority, but rather it broadens our approach to potentially list on more exchanges. We did want to communicate this in case one of the other exchange listings happens first, just so there's no confusion around that. As I mentioned, the timelines with the exchanges is unclear. They operate on their own schedule, so we don't know which exchange would be the first to list among the many that we are interfacing with. Regarding how the community can help, all of these exchanges look at how active the community is across all social media platforms, including Twitter and Discord and Telegram. So really, the best way to help is to continue participating and helping each other as you see fit. As I mentioned before, these exchanges love our community. They see the engagement on Twitter, on Discord. It's one of the great advantages that we have. I know we mentioned that around the turn of the month, we were expecting a decision from one of the tier 1 exchanges. I hope the explanation I gave provides some color around the process. And how we are actively working to solve some ecosystem issues, such as the lack of HTS support across exchanges. To be perfectly clear, we are still making good progress with 2 tier 1 exchanges and have also made significant progress with other reputable exchanges and have involved several of our partners to facilitate and accelerate the process as much as possible. So we look forward to providing more updates on this matter as soon as we have them.
Thank you so much for providing that really thorough explanation, Peter. Our next question is from OX3AO. With the increase of attention and new users, what security measures, improvements, or contingency plans are in place to mitigate a possible hack or exploit?
Hey guys, it's great to see such a large turnout. So we've established internal protocols to effectively respond to situations based on their threat level. And to monitor any issues with our server or site, we've implemented multiple sentry rules. And our team structure is clearly defined, ensuring adherence to robust version control. And we do follow best practices in SDLC and DevOps. So before releasing to production, sensitive code undergoes thorough unit testing and QA in a dev environment. And I guess to provide further context, in the first quarter of this year, we've significantly refactored our code base, fixed bugs, and optimized our systems. For added security, our smart contracts are, of course, audited by reputable third parties such as Hacken and Omniscia. And we engage in regular consultations with Swirlds to exchange feedback. In addition to that, we have biweekly meetings with Hashport that focus on operational security and strategies to minimize potential losses resulting from exploits. And I guess the most recent example, we host ongoing bug bounty programs, both on mainnet and on testnet.
Awesome. Thank you for that explanation there, Joseph. Next question comes up and it says, on CoinMarketCap, this message pops up. The CMC team has not verified the market cap of this project. When will they be able to verify this?
So we had to prepare a new total supply endpoint for CoinMarketCap. We've completed this, so we'll submit a CoinMarketCap request this week, and it should be updated.
Great, thanks for that. Is there a time frame for community pools and the Saucelink NFTs? Things are getting heated up for DeFi on Hedera with lots of projects launching. Has this made Phase 2 single-sided staking a bigger priority for the SaucerSwap team? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, so auto pools is the next feature to be released. We are currently in a testnet beta for that. So if you want to earn some sauce and find bugs, that's on testnet.saucerswap.finance. We are offering rewards up to 75,000 sauce. So go ahead and try to break it, and you can earn some sauce. After auto pools is released, there are a few development priorities, such as governance and revisiting phase 2 of single-sided staking, which is what this question is about. So as for that, I will just mention there are opportunities to incorporate the Larry system we developed, which is the Liquidity Aligned Reward Initiative system, for use with phase 2 of single-sided staking. We are still looking into the potential for this integration, but it could make it even more robust while still supporting the initial vision for phase 2, which is XSauce staking, as well as phase 3, which involves the Saucelink NFTs. So we're pretty excited about the potential there to use Larry in conjunction with phase 2 and phase 3 of single-sided staking. We'll provide more information on that as we get closer to it. And as for the NFT series portion, we are still developing the art for it. So it's not an immediate item that will be released, but it is actively being developed.
That's true. And Nariyoshi is heading up that project. So if y'all want to try and squeeze secrets out of anyone, just hit up Nariyoshi. Next question from Crypto Rubber. Is the team planning to do some rewards for the long-term stakers, like airdrop or some sort of benefits other than APY percentage, just like the booming coin $TIA, $SOL?
Yeah, so the token generation event, or TGE for Sauce, has already occurred. So I'm not sure if an airdrop makes sense in this context. Airdrop farming is generally reserved for projects which have yet to undergo a TGE. And furthermore, the SaucerSwap tokenomics don't leave much room for flexibility. All the sauce yet to enter circulation has already been allocated to various initiatives. So whether that be incentives, liquidity, or DAO-related activities. And this is well documented in the SaucerSwap docs. But returning to your point, I could foresee a situation where sauce holders or stakers are airdropped another project's token or otherwise rewarded in some way. And I believe this has already occurred with some ecosystem tokens, but it would be a third-party initiative.
Thanks for that explanation, Joseph. This next one is for Peter. Will US users be able to pull and import transactions via SaucePro into Coinly before the April 15th tax deadline?
For tax purposes, it is already possible to go to Coinly, search for Hedera, enter your Hedera account ID, specify the dates you want to import transactions from and to, and then click import. And Coinly integrates both with HBAR and HTS tokens, so it is a fully fledged way to report your transactions for the upcoming tax deadline. Coinly will find prices for a lot of HTS tokens if they're listed on CoinGecko, but if they're not there, you can also just search for the prices on SaucerSwap or aggregators such as Dex Screener. So that is what we recommend.
That sounds good to me. Next question is for Joseph. How does the SaucerSwap auto pools work? For example, will impermanent loss be realized when the pool rebalances? How do you manage the risks? And could you give us some details about how auto rebalancing works?
Yeah, sure. So we published a Medium article last week that went into some detail, but auto pools are based on the Ichi Active Liquidity Management, or ALM protocol, and this essentially enables users to deposit a single asset in a vault, which sits atop a SaucerSwap V2 liquidity pool. An algorithm will then take this user deposit and allocate it across a range of prices within that pool. So there's 5 possible auto pool states, which are ways in which the deposit can be allocated. So there's a healthy state, over and under inventory states, and high and extreme volatility states. So the algorithm will always try to return the auto pool to the healthy state and keep it there for as long as possible. This is where the most fees are earned in the deposit token. So an example of a healthy state could be 80% the deposit token and 20% the paired token, with the deposit token allocated tightly around the market price of the pool. Over and under inventory states occur when the market price changes such that 80-20 composition shifts either up or down, which means that there's now too much or too little of the deposit token. So the algorithm will reallocate its funds over a new price range to bring the auto pool back to the targeted healthy state. And the high and extreme volatility states are when the market price of the pool moves drastically over a short period of time. And that's measured by differences in the slow and fast TWAPs. So the algorithm responds in much the same way, just in a more extreme manner. So the process of returning to the healthy state without any user input is what's referred to as auto rebalancing. And to address your question about impermanent loss, it's only realized when you withdraw your funds from the vault. In terms of managing risk, Ichi is highly experienced in managing ALM deployments. They're currently partnered with PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, Retro Finance, and several others. Their contracts have been audited by third-party firms, and the deployed code is verified on Hashscan. And as I had previously mentioned, we are running a bug bounty program on the testnet, which is an added security measure.
Great, thanks for that explanation, Joseph. Another question by Septia/HBAR Millionaire. How do Lari rewards work with auto pools? Would the Ichi protocol get that 14% cut? And would the remaining 86% be distributed back to the users, or is it compounded back into the pool? And why is the auto pools, why is it a 14% manager fee? Is that like a load fee or exit fee? Can you please go into detail on this topic and provide some clarification?
Yeah, sure. So Larry rewards are managed by SaucerSwap, meaning they're not subject to the Ichi manager fee. Just to briefly explain how Larry works in the context of auto pools, if you consider the HBAR USDC V2 pool, it currently receives 17% of the sauce rewards per epoch. So this pool has 2 Ichi vaults, one for HBAR deposits and one for USDC deposits. These vaults will compete with regular liquidity providers for that 17% sauce allocation throughout the epoch. So when the epoch ends, SaucerSwap will calculate liquidity hours for all liquidity providers in that pool, including the HBAR and USDC vaults. Sauce is then airdropped directly to users who deposited in those vaults in proportion to their stake, as well as to those who manually provided liquidity in the pool. Regarding the 14% Ichi manager fee, it's not taken from deposits, but rather from any fees earned by the vault. So there's no deposit or withdrawal fees. And this is fairly standard for ALMs. They have to cover operational expenses associated with development and maintaining the protocol. So just to name an example, SushiSwap smart pools on our Arbitrum, they're managed by Steer Protocol, and they charge a 15% performance fee, which is in line with Ichi.
Great, thanks for that explanation. I think this one is for Peter. Will there be airdrops as part of the marketing plans when listing Sauce on an exchange?
Just before we answer that, I just wanted to say for the people in the back, auto pools just basically means more time for GTL, which is just wanted to drop that one for ZUX3A0. We are currently not planning to do any airdrops for Sauce when listing on new exchanges. That's not part of the marketing plan.
Yeah, but Peter, correct me if I'm wrong here. We are planning on making more time for GTL, though. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I just checking my notes here. All right, next one. I'm teeing up for you, Joseph. So heads up. Celestial Being wants to know. I've noticed the Sauce token on Syntex.io. Can you elaborate more on that particular partnership using Sauce to buy NFTs? Question mark.
Yeah, this one was a long time coming. So Centex recently integrated the Sauce token into their NFT marketplace, which means that if users can access the market by selecting the HBAR icon in the top bar and choosing the Sauce market, so they can browse NFTs listed with Sauce, and through their NFT manager, they can list any supported NFT using Sauce instead of HBAR. I guess real quick, so for collections to be displayed, the royalty wallet of the collection must either be associated with Sauce or not have any royalties. And last of note, Centex has doubled all Centex rewards on Sauce-denominated NFT sales. I believe this lasts 5 days beginning March 8th. So this integration is great to see. I believe it represents a step forward in bridging the gap between NFTs and DeFi. So we're looking forward to seeing its impact on existing collections, HNS domains, and any new and up-and-coming projects.
That's pretty awesome. So this next one is also from a Celestial Being. As lending becomes more popular on the Hedera network, will SaucerSwap participate in or have a connection to lending protocols in the near term or future?
Yeah, so this is another really exciting development. So I guess more recently, there was the addition of Pyth and Supra oracles. So these oracles utilize SaucerSwap liquidity pools to obtain accurate and trustless pricing data for HTS tokens. Since lending protocols lack the ability to price assets themselves, they then rely on these oracles for real-time reliable market data. And this is to ensure precise loan-to-value calculations and collateral requirements. So that's one way in which SaucerSwap's connected with these upcoming lending protocols. I also anticipate the advent of lending will boost stablecoin liquidity, as people commonly prefer to leverage their exposure to volatile assets through stablecoins. So there's several lending protocols that are currently in development, each adopting different strategies. I believe one is a fork of Compound, and there's another being developed that's a fork of Aave v2. So Serio, which is backed by Headstarter, will support the borrowing and lending of the Sauce token at launch. So I'll end by saying I think that Hedera DeFi is poised for significant developments as it continues to add this EVM tooling to support these primitives like lending.
All going according to plan, it seems. All right. So next comment from the community. So far, things look smooth from the community perspective. What are a few challenges currently being faced by the team, and how can the community help? Peter, your only hope.
Yes. So from a community perspective, everything is awesome. I think that's pretty self-evident. It also relates to the question about the centralized exchange earlier. That is not a problem at all. In fact, it's one of the greatest strengths is our engagement across socials. It's really a great advantage of SaucerSwap. We don't see many challenges to overcome from a community perspective besides some traditional obstacles with scaling. So right now our user support is fine. If we need more user support, we could introduce a triage system for ticketing in our Discord, but so far that is fine. Most of our challenges do surround how to support an influx of new users, primarily on the development front. So we have needed to scale our systems to support more traffic. It's really a good problem to have. And if the community is looking for ways to help grow, just active users and engagement, being active on social media is hands down the best way to help SaucerSwap grow. So if you're looking to get involved, Reddit, Twitter or X, Telegram, Discord, being active there is a great help.
Great, thanks for that, Peter. I think this next one is for Joseph. The community is wondering, would it be possible when providing liquidity in a V2 pool to add a field that would roughly approximate expected earnings or APY for a given range?
Yeah, so I think this is technically possible. We're actually assessing the feasibility. We might take a subgraph approach. But for the interim, we're prioritizing the projected Larry earnings.
Yeah, I like that idea. Community, always give us your ideas because we can't think of everything. So, sounds like a good idea. Throw it out there. Next question is, are there any plans to implement any native cross-chain bridges? For example, bridge without leaving the SaucerSwap platform. What say you, Joseph?
So we already integrated the Synapse SDK and built a user interface. The MetaMask requirement is also now met. So if Synapse does materialize, which I believe is contingent on their governance, then we can certainly add this native bridge support to our front end. We also have other options, but it may be premature to discuss.
Awesome, thanks for that. So with higher attention on SaucerSwap, can we prove if this is due to engagement, marketing, or something else? What are the team's efforts to keep SaucerSwap fast and steady? Peter?
The increased traffic to SaucerSwap is due to a number of factors. I think the main one is consistent development of the protocol. That's really been our philosophy from day one, is to always be delivering new features and finding greater stability, increasing performance. And with SaucerSwap version 2, we have greatly increased the capital efficiency, leading to some really catapulting of our on-chain metrics. Look no further than the liquidity page of SaucerSwap. You can see the TVL and volume charts. Specifically, volume is pretty great. We've processed over $280 million in volume in the last month. So it has really been a step function for usage. And now SaucerSwap is ranked within the top 20 DEXs across all chains. We have recently surpassed some kind of behemoths from the last cycle, with over $1 billion in TVL from the last cycle. So, Bancor, QuickSwap, SaucerSwap ranks higher than those DEXs now. So it has really been awesome to see. And I think this is the best marketing you can have because it allows new users to discover the project kind of on their own and be delighted by the experience when they come over and try it out and get involved in the community and in the socials. So it's a bit of a different approach than the influencer marketing that a lot of Web3 projects tend to pursue. We simply have a different philosophy. We think that creating the best product and experience and gaining real visibility via organic growth through actually making developments, announcing features and milestones via social media is the best way to sustainably grow a satisfied and high value user base. So we always put the user first in everything we do. We're very serious about feedback and use just generally working with our community is a cornerstone of our development process. So I hope that gives an answer as to why SaucerSwap has seen the increase in traffic and on-chain metrics that it has recently.
Yeah, some people would be like, why don't you just buy a bunch of 4chan, GIF ads at the bottom of the page? But, that's just not our style. All right. Hi, will you do order limits just like Spooky Swap on Fandom? Warm regards, Egon.
So yeah, the plan is still to implement on-chain limit orders. In the meantime, you can set fee earning limit orders through single asset deposit in V2. So this is a surprisingly lesser known but powerful feature of concentrated liquidity. And I recommend you watch tutorial 6 of the SaucerSwap Labs YouTube channel titled Depth Chart for a step-to-step walkthrough. And there's also plenty of reading material online since this feature also exists in Uniswap v3.
Great, thanks for that, Joseph. Another comment from the community: in the current V2 pools, will there ever be an adjustment option implemented to bring liquidity tokens that are out of range back into range?
Yeah, so this is auto pools, which the testnet bug bounty is currently live. So just to recap, auto pools automatically rebalance your position to keep it within the desired range. Also, I'd like to remind you that removing your liquidity from a manual position once it falls out of range is not always advisable. Only if you anticipate the price will continue moving in the current direction. So impermanent loss can be reversed if the price returns to its level at the time of your original deposit.
Correct. Hence the term impermanent. All right. Can SaucerSwap support other tokens from other chains, or is it always going to be Hedera?
Currently, SaucerSwap only supports HTS tokens, Hedera Token Service tokens. That does include bridged tokens from other networks via Hashport or any other bridges that may come along and support Hedera. So for example, you can trade and hold Bitcoin on Hedera through wrapped Bitcoin HTS. That subscript HTS denotes that it was bridged via Hashport. So if Hashport or another bridge adds support for other tokens on other networks, those tokens can be bridged and used on SaucerSwap.
So Dave is wondering, would SaucerSwap ever collaborate with influencers to promote Sauce?
No. The answer is no. Our directive is to contribute to the open source SaucerSwap protocol and provide a first-class interface to interact with the protocol. All of the associated marketing efforts revolve around the functionality and utility of the protocol rather than the Sauce token, which is a protocol token with specified utilities.
Man, I don't know about y'all, but I miss BitBoy. Next question is, are the plans going forward going to make it easier to swap and stake Sauce on iOS and other devices without the need for a Google extension?
There already is a pretty good way of doing this via the Hashpack app. You can use the Hashpack DApp browser to interact with SaucerSwap on iOS. And in the future, we plan on looking into other ways to better support the SaucerSwap experience on mobile devices. Specifically, we are currently investigating an issue with Android devices that leads to the website freezing. Additionally, some of the core web vitals, which is kind of a measure for SEO assets, is not as good on mobile as it is on desktop. So we're addressing that as well. So in time, the mobile experience should improve considerably.
Great. Thanks for that, Peter. So this last question is from Time. When will Barb return? So I'll go ahead and answer this because I've been in contact with Barb and she wants to let you all know that she's around. Her social battery is super low with all of the online stuff that happened, but with spring around the corner, maybe runs would help her mood.
Barb, a cornerstone of our community. And speaking of our community, thank you, everyone that stuck around. This is a nice turnout for today. This is a long AMA. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm ready to kick back and relax for the rest of my weekend. But as per the usual, Pineapple has one more thing to say for everyone that stuck around. Take us home, Pineapple.
Thanks, ABFT, FTW. So we had really good questions today with a lot of information. For those of you who missed portions of this AMA, the recordings will be uploaded to our AMA archive channel right here on our general Discord. The Auto Pools Bug Bounty is currently live, so feel free to give that a go. If you need help getting started on testnet, please reach out to us in our general channel or create a support ticket. And as always, if you have questions or need clarification on some other concepts or just DeFi in general, we're always here to help answer those. Before we sign off tonight, the team would like to award a dog star to one of our Hedera community members that have been here since day one. He's been building cool things in the background and have always been a champion of the Hedera community at large. So thank you, Jax, for your unwavering support for Hedera and its DeFi community, and we love chatting with you over at Club HBAR. And with that, my friends, thank you all for joining us, and I hope you can all help us find some bugs. Have a great night.
Jax. Y'all didn't tell me it was Jax.
Yeah, Jax is the man.
True.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll have more updates in due time. So thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yep. Take care, guys.